Okay, this is the content for exam 4 material, chapter 7.1 and 2. We're just going to give you a quick overview for some information about sets and Venn diagram. So one of the things that we want you to know is if we have, say, sets, a lot of time we use capital letter A, B, to name the sets. Say set A is 1 and 2 and set B is 3 and 4. If I try to represent this with a Venn diagram, they use like a rectangular box to represent the universal sets. We can label this as number maybe. And I can have one circle to represent set A and then one circle to represent set B, and they don't have anything in common, so they're not overlapping at all, right? So I'm gonna have 1, 2 in set A, 3, 4 in set B. So these two sets are not overlapping. They are mutually exclusive, basically. We can say set A and B mutually exclusive, meaning they don't have anything in common. Okay, let's try another example. If I have set C and D, C is 5 and 6 and D is 6 and 7. So we can see these two sets have any something in common, right? So when we draw the universal set with a rectangular box, and if C is 5, 6, then when I draw D, I would have to overlap with C, right? So set D is 6 and 7. Does it make sense? So if I only look at the C circle, I see 5 and 6, right? If I only look at the D circle, we see 6 and 7. So these two sets are not mutually exclusive. They have something in common. Like that. Okay. So the next example, we're going to have set E and F. So E, I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, 4 for the elements. So I use the squiggly line to contain the elements, and it means I have this many items in the set. So as you can see here, 2 and 3 are both in set E, right? So when I draw the universal sets and call this number, if I draw F first, and then 2 and 3 are in it, right? But then the set E is actually including everything in set F, right? So they're like within the circle, right? So I can put, okay, I'm still missing 1, I have 2, I have 3, but I also need 4, right? So this will represent the two sets. So we can say F is a subset of E. Set F is a subset of E. Alright? So let's put in something that may make more sense. Let's say this universal set in this rectangle is representing the D students. Okay, and the first circle represents male D students, and then the second circle, let's represent have a car. So this Venn diagram divide the information into many sections. First is just like this part of the circle. This I'm going to say section 1, and then the overlapping part I'm going to say section 2, and then this part, just this part of the circle, not the overlapping part, I'm going to say section 3, And then outside of the two circle, I'm gonna say this is section 4, okay? So I'm gonna ask you to write in words what those sections mean. What each section represents. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, right? So 1 is going to be only the part for the male DCCC student, but not overlapping with the circle with the car, right? So what would that mean? So that will mean that's the DCCC male students, but not including people have the car, right? So have no car. So DCCC male students with no car, right? Okay, so how about 2? 2 is the overlapping part of the 2. So what would that represent? So the not overlapping parts means, the overlapping part mean the DCCC male student, but also need to have car, right? So it has to fit both of the conditions. I should have more color, but I don't have it with me. Sorry about that. Okay, the next part is number 3. Number 3 is, you can see that is the DCCC students, not male, but have car, right? So which means they are going to be female. Okay, so DCCC not male student, so this is going to be female student. This is in the circle with car, right? With car. Okay, and then how about the one outside? So the one outside is not going to be male, right? And it's not going to be have car, right? So not male means females, don't have car. Okay, so this is going to be DCCC female students outside of the circle with car, so with no car. Are we okay with that? So this is some basic Venn diagram information. So we want you to have some idea, because like later on in chapter 7 you're gonna need to use some of these informations. It would be a good practice if you try the next one on your own. You want to do that. We want you to try if the universal set equal to students in math 1324 class. Okay, and then I have the universal set will represent the the universal set students in math 1324. I can have one circle for female and then one for live in Dallas, and then I'm gonna have section 1, 2, 3, and 4. So I want you to think about it, and then I'm going to tell you the answer in a little bit. So if you're in class, I'm going to ask you to do it on the board, but we're not in class, so try it, pause the video. So once you're ready, we can say that A is going to be what? They're female student, but not living commerce, right? And then how about 2? 2 will be the 2 overlapping, right? I'm sorry, female 1324 student, not living commerce in here. So female math 1324 students outside of that circle not live in Dallas. How about 2? 2 would be the 2 overlaps, so female math 1324 students live in Dallas. Okay, how about 3? 3 is live in Dallas but not female, so it's going to be male 1324 students live in Dallas. How about 4? 4 is not going to be female, so it's going to be male. Math 1324 students outside of live in Dallas, right? So not live in Dallas. So hopefully you got it correct. And the next part, let's see. If I have a graph that is about animal and they are mutually exclusive, I can put what in there. So I can put maybe cat in this circle, dog in this circle, maybe say chicken, you can put in there. And how about pet? If we have a circle within another circle, so I'm going to say this is for the cat circle, this is for the dog circle. I can put anything about cat in here, anything about dog here, but anything not cat, not dog here, right? So pet, if I label this a cat, something in the same category, we can have kittens. Kitten go here, adult cat go here, and maybe dogs go here. So that's how it works. This is the basic concepts of Venn diagram. So next, I want you to draw a lot of this and then maybe take a second and see if you know how to color this. So what I want you to do is you need to shade the answer. Okay, so let's see. Number 1, like that, and I want you to label it A and B. So I want you to draw like 7 of this. So go ahead and do it. Don't draw it too big because we're going to need to color it. I don't want you to need to spend too much time to color it. Number 3. Number 4. Number 5. So all of them have A and B circle overlapping each other. Like if we are in class, we also have like some manipulative that we can use to try to do this hands-on activity, but we're not in class now, so we can draw this. 7 is going to require some steps, so let's see. So if you have this done and if you need to pause this video and catch up with the drawing, feel free to do it. So what I want you to do is, first one, I only want to shade A, and then B, and then this thing here is called not or complement. We can do comma, A comma, or put like a bar on top of it. Or some of the book will say A with a C here, meaning not all complements of A. So basically what they do is they compare A with the universal sets, and things in the universal set but not in A will be part of my answer. And then we also need to know what is not B. So let's try this. the first one I just need a circle, right? So that should be pretty straightforward. You just need to shade in the whole a circle, right? Hope that makes sense. What do you think about B? So B is just the whole B circle, right? And if I need not A, so this means not A, then anything can be part of my answer except the A circle. So we're going to need to shade outside of the A circle. Alright, so what do you think not B? So not B would be outside of the B circle. Anything not in the A circle would be part of my answer. Alright, and then the next few you're gonna need some terminology. So one is this, one is that. So a U shape means union. So don't be confused with the universal sets, okay? The keyword for that is or, mean either or. So everything in the two sets will be part of my answer, okay? And then if it's like this, this means intersect. So my answer would be the overlapping part, and the keyword is A and D N. So the answer would be the overlapping part of the two sets. Okay, and earlier we talked about the complement, so it could be a bar on top or like apostrophe like that. This is for the complement, and the keyword is not. So we are focusing on the part not in the set compare to the universal set. So we want the part that's not in A but in the universal sets. Alright, so what do I mean by universal sets? So universal sets is going to include all the sets and more. And we use a rectangular box to represent it. So again, if you need pause the video and write this down, please feel free to do it. Okay, once you're done, we want to know how to shape those. So A union B mean either or, right? So anything in A combining with anything in B. So both of these will be part of my answer. And number 6 mean, so this is like union. So anything in A or anything in B. Okay, the second one is intersect. So need to be the overlapping part for A and B. So the overlapping part, what they have in common is here, right? So that would be my answer. So make sure you know this. Like if we are in class, like we will review this like for a few days in a row. So hopefully you get used to the idea. Right now you're on your own, so you need to put this out like to review it a few times for you to get used to it. Okay, number 7 is a little bit more difficult. It's a not A and then union B. So not A, union B. Alright, so for this type of question, which is more complicated, normally I will break it down into some steps. So I'm going to draw a picture to represent not A, and then I need to think about union with my B from the second picture. So this is A and B, A and B. So the answer is going to be okay, so first of all, not A, right? So I mean outside of the A circle. And B would be things in the B circle, right? And the answer, I need not A, union B, mean everything in both would be part of my answer. We're combining the two of them, so we're going to be union either or, right? So I could start with like my first picture. I should label A and B. So I have this here. And then I'm supposed to combine with the second part. So the second part was the whole B circle, right? So I need to add in that part. So that would also be part of my answer, right? So I'm going to also say this part now. So totally that would be my answer. Are we okay? So that is a little bit more difficult.